The Buffalo Sabres, your Buffalo Sabres, are what we call a certified wagon. Hi, I'm Nick. This is 10 Minutes with Nick. And this week, the Sabres are playing not in Buffalo. They're on a road stand right now. And it's what's called Sabres After Dark, because on the East Coast, they're playing at much later times on East Coast time than they normally do. And yet, the Sabres went to take on the Las Vegas Golden Knights on Tuesday, I believe, and came away with a 2-0 win. And by all accounts, the Las Vegas stadium was packed with Sabres fans. Ladies and gentlemen, 2006 is so back. 2006 is so back. For those of you who don't remember 2006, the last time the Sabres were truly just a wagon in the hockey world, it was glorious. Danny Briere, Chris Drury, Max Afinogenov. And I know Afinogenov, people are going to get on me and say like, oh, Afinogenov wasn't that great of a player. He was an offensive machine. Sure, he couldn't play defense, but he was an offensive machine. These Sabres, this group, I don't know what got into them. I don't know when they just decided that they were just going to be the guys, but it's beautiful to watch night in and night out. And I've said this before, what I really see with these guys, besides the fact that they shut out the Vegas Golden Knights and got, a nice little feather in the cap against former team captain Jack Eichel, what I see with these guys is anytime somebody takes something that could even remotely be described as a cheap shot on one of the guys on the team, everybody's flying into the pile to make a point. Nobody's letting anybody just sit out on an island and just get hit. They're playing fast, they're playing physical, and if you try to, you have one of your guys, throw an elbow or try and dive at somebody or do something like that, they make it very clear how they're going to handle it. And they just make the point. We're not afraid to drop the gloves, and we're not afraid to drop the gloves across the entire line. You don't ordinarily want, your top line guys getting in fights, right? You have guys on the team specifically for the purpose of not letting those guys get in fights. And yet, you watch guys like Tage Thompson, Rasmus Dahlin, these guys who are starters, who are top line, who are kind of your top guys, they will jump on the pile. They'll get in there. They'll mix it up. They are not afraid of anything anybody can throw their way. And that, more than any of the statistics, more than any of the goals, tells you a lot about the team. Now, if they were starting fights and being dumb about it, that would also tell you a lot about the team. But it tells you a lot about the team that these guys just don't let anybody bully them. They're not going to sit there and just take it from somebody. They're going to jump in. They're going to mix it up. They're going to scrap it up. And if you don't like it, well, that's on you. Don't come at our guys. And, don't come at our guys. And, by the way, watch the fireworks, because we're going to fight you and then we're going to beat you. And it's going to be phenomenal. The Sabres are currently tied for first, not just in the Atlantic Division, where they hold the lead outright. They are tied for first at the top of the Eastern Conference, or they were at least as of yesterday. That may have changed, and I haven't checked the standings as of this morning. But the Sabres have 90 points. They're well on their way to, they have a chance at well over 100 points. And I'm just excited because Buffalo at its core is a hockey town. And when the playoffs come around, and fingers crossed the Sabres have a home ice advantage, KeyBank Center is going to be rocking. KeyBank is going to be rocking. I hope I have an excuse to get back to Buffalo to go see a game. Speaking of Buffalo, there was more news from the Buffalo Bills over the weekend. Not necessarily directly related to the Bills, but Jaylen Waddle of the Miami Dolphins, previously of the Miami Dolphins, who the Bills had tried to get at the trade deadline, did end up getting traded to the Denver Broncos. Now, the Denver Broncos gave up first, third, and fourth round picks in order to get Jaylen Waddle. Stephen A. Smith this morning called the Bills the biggest loser in the Denver Broncos and Miami Dolphins trade, saying that it says a lot about the organization that the Denver Broncos were able to get something done and the Buffalo Bills weren't able to get something done. I think this is a bit disingenuous by Stephen A. Now, normally, I'll be honest, not everybody does, but normally I actually do really like Stephen A. He's usually a pretty good commentator. He usually knows what's up. He not only knows what's up, he's always got his facts down of what's going on. He very rarely does like an egregious flub or something where he just completely gets a team wrong. That happens a lot on ESPN. But in this case, I disagree with Stephen A. Smith heavily, and I think it was just a dumb take. The Bills aren't the biggest loser in that case. Giving up a first-round pick is a really, really big deal. And not only to give up a first-round pick, but then to also give up third and fourth-round picks. The draft is the number one way in which a football team is able to build its team. It just is. It's and yes, people, the draft is a lottery. I'll say that full out. Like, you don't know what you're getting ever. You just don't. You can't predict. It's hard to predict it. Coming from the college game to the pro game, it's hard to know for sure how games translate. But it's a lottery that you have to participate in because the players you get are on rookie-controlled contracts, which are much lower in value, and it means that you're not spending premium dollars possibly on premium assets, which for a team is a move that you have to make. Now, the Bills, as we've stated on the podcast, traded a second-round pick for DJ Moore from the Chicago Bears. And when you look at DJ Moore and Jaylen Waddle, you see two receivers who have pretty similar per-game production. The Bills gave up a second-round pick and got DJ Moore and a fifth back. Who got more value? I think it was just good trades for both the Denver Broncos and the Buffalo Bills. Jaylen Waddle is a great receiver. He's great. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't know, he's not Randy Moss or anything like that, but he's a great receiver. I would have loved to have had him on the Bills. I don't know that I would have loved to have had him for a first-round draft pick. DJ Moore for a second? That's hands down, I do that trade twice a day. I do that trade once a day and twice on Sunday. That is a trade I make all the time, every day, automatic, no questions asked. And getting a fifth-round pick back as well. But that's not to say the Denver Broncos didn't get a good deal out of this trade. They did. They got Jaylen Waddle, who's going to probably do really well in Denver. And that is where Stephen A., I think, gets it wrong. I think the biggest loser in this trade in the immediate term is probably the Miami Dolphins. They've signaled by trading away Jaylen Waddle after signing Malik Willis to a 3-year quarterback contract that they don't really care about this year. They're shooting for, I don't know what they see in the draft in 2027, but they're shooting for the 2027 draft. This year is a wash for them. Like, they'll get a couple of wins, just some kind of plucky upstart wins, like, we got to prove we're worth something, but the Dolphins are the biggest loser in this trade. And I'm saying that even though they got a first-round pick back. Because that first-round pick is great, but it doesn't solve their it doesn't solve their immediate problem, right? Like, they're not going to bring in anybody who's going to flip the fortunes of the team and fix everything that went out the door. Plus, they have to carry a lot of dead cap in order to make the Jaylen Waddle trade happen. On top of the $99 million in dead cap they have to take on for releasing Tua Tagovailoa. So, as per usual, the Miami Dolphins are the biggest losers. That's my take. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm Nick. This is 10 Minutes with Nick. Have a great day.